Wonder what you'd see if you turned on the TV right now. Maybe a new episode of your favorite show, or another boring newscast? But what about something like this? Today, we'll take a look at some disturbing things that you definitely wouldn't want to catch during a commercial break.
Listen to Remco's Baby Laugh a Lot. You're listening to Baby Laugh a Lot. She's the funniest doll you've ever seen.
This commercial for the creepy giggling doll from Remco scared a really large number of people back in the day, although it's not too well known, and I think it's pretty obvious why that happened. Some people are scared by the doll's creepy appearance and laughter, while others are put off by the commercial's unsettling atmosphere and the rather unnatural acting of the children who starred in it. Personally, I think that this is just a subjective opinion, so let's focus specifically on the main character of the commercial, if it can be called that. The thing is that inside each doll was a small record player, which, when pressed on a special button, would start making pre-recorded sounds of laughter. And if you think that such a nasty giggling is the creepiest thing it could do, then you just don't know some of the nuances yet. The problem is that the record player inside the doll doesn't work on the energy of pure evil, as you might think, but on ordinary batteries that have a tendency to run out of power.
This is Evil Baby Laughs a Lot from 1965 by Remco, and her batteries are running low.
Although over time its laughter became more and more creepy, that's still not the most important thing. The construction of the player was such that sometimes it would just break and turn on the recording on its own at random times. Just imagine having a doll like that, and one day it suddenly turns on, of course late at night, and starts giggling cheerfully all over the house. I don't know about you, but this seems really creepy to me. For the weird and creepy commercials from my previous videos, which I highly recommend you watch, it was possible to find both people who were scared by them and those who always found them funny or creative. In this case, everything is completely different. It is very difficult to find at least someone who wouldn't have been scared by this commercial at some point in their childhood or even now. And there wasn't even any creative project behind it. It was implied that this was really just the most ordinary commercial for the most ordinary doll, and that any child would want to buy it just after seeing this on TV. As I mentioned before, the company responsible for the creation of the doll was Remco. They were primarily engaged in the production of radio-controlled toys, most often under popular licenses such as Batman or Star Trek. Some sources suggest that the quality of their products was far from the best and the execution was rather lazy, so the things that happened to the company are not surprising at all. In 1971, the year the commercial with this giggling thing was released, Remco went bankrupt and temporarily closed. The doll itself became their last toy until 1973, although this might be a simple coincidence. After all, it was possible to buy it since 1961, so there's probably nothing suspicious here. But on the other hand, do we really know everything? In any case, it was the Remco Baby Laughs a Lot commercial, and while you subscribe to my channel, we move on to the next, equally creepy commercial.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet, a place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match or cigarette and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
There is not much to say about this PSA other than what's already visible on the screen. Smokey Bear first appeared on August 9, 1944, as part of a government campaign for the prevention of forest fires, the effective fight against which became especially important after the United States entered World War II. The Japanese hoped that their numerous hydrogen-filled balloons would be able to reach the United States and set fire to their cities and forests, as well as cause significant damage to agriculture. Although this weapon was not very effective, the skills people learned through posters and leaflets featuring Smokey turned out to be really useful. The bear himself became so popular and recognizable that he still occasionally appears here and there, although not as often as before. As for the commercial itself, it turned out to be quite disturbing and even with an unexpected twist. Who would have thought that a creepy talking bear was hiding under the human mask all this time? It's entirely possible that this was its purpose. People are much more likely to remember something that scared them than something that was simply trying to teach them something useful. On the other hand, most people were probably more interested in the creepy teeth on the actress's mask than in the problem of forest fires. If that was the case, then the situation changed completely in 1981. A newer, improved version of the original PSA came out at this time, in which the transition from the actress's face to the bear was enhanced, his body was replaced with a much higher quality one, and the background room became significantly less creepy. It's difficult to say what exactly was the reason for this change. It's very possible that not everyone liked the old version, but I don't think that's a reason to reshoot it, especially after so many years. Whatever the case really is, it's time for us to move on and take a look at the next creepy commercial, this time from the world of video games.
Let me tell you what bugs me about human endeavour. I've never been the human in question. Have you? Mankind went to the moon. I don't even know where Grimsby is. Forget progress by proxy. Land on your own moon.
This rather famous commercial with an alien girl was an attempt by PlayStation to experiment a little and bring something new to their company's marketing strategy at the turn of the century. Whether it was a good attempt or not, it's definitely memorable. Here we see a girl with a rather unusual face who turns to the audience and begins her monologue with reflections on the fact that personal moral satisfaction can be found not only in the achievements of all mankind, but also in something as insignificant as video games, which sometimes make you happy and allow you to feel as if you've landed on your own moon. This feeling, in her opinion, is called mental wealth. And to be honest, there is something about it if you think about it carefully, even though it's definitely not the best commercial for selling PlayStation. On the other hand, it could have been worse. Literally everything is known about this commercial, but your first question is likely to be about what's wrong with her head. And it's simple. She's from the UK. But seriously, this girl from Scotland is named Fiona McLean, and her head was edited using computer graphics, which wasn't anything new at that time. It's funny that many people around the world actually believed that she had such a head, or that she was really an alien from outer space. However, there is nothing surprising about this, unfortunately. Some people found the commercial with the alien girl to be at least very strange and often creepy, while others always found it quite cute and pleasant. One thing is for sure, it definitely had some kind of charming atmosphere that is almost non-existent in modern advertising. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw something as unusual and strange? A commercial that is not afraid to experiment and look for something that no one has done before. We can only hope that everything will change again in the future, but now let's move on to the last commercial for today. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This commercial, which once frightened many people around the world, appeared in Germany in April 2004. Someone thought it was a very good idea not only to tell about their product, but also to show how exactly it would affect a person. The rather simple idea was that if you suddenly see a scary face on your TV screen, you'll get scared and your heart will start beating much faster than usual, just like if you had drunk their coffee energy drink. It's funny, but it's very possible that this commercial is one of the pioneers of the screamers genre on YouTube. There were really a lot of them back then, and even I stumbled upon such screamers sometimes, but let's get back to our commercials specifically. Or rather, commercials, because there were several of them, although with the same plot. First a calm and relaxing background, and then a creepy face suddenly appearing from some corner of the screen. And for some reason, the commercial with a car slowly driving down the road turned out to be the most popular. It was also the most commonly used for a whole wave of pranks that followed its release. Many people really thought it would be very funny and at the same time very witty to show this video to some unsuspecting person and watch their reaction. Quite predictable in any case. It seems that there were many dissatisfied people, since soon several new commercials for the same energy drink appeared under the common name K-Fi Light, in which the authors tried to replace the screamers with something more pleasant and less unexpected, although even that didn't always work out for them. It's also worth mentioning that there were even radio commercials for this product, looking exactly like you probably imagined them now.
Would you like to know how to make more of your money? Then listen carefully. All you have to do...
Ever been so wide awake, K-Fi?
one can only sympathize with car drivers listening to the radio. And you can even find versions of these commercials with completely removed screamers. It's like a banana cake without bananas. It's hard to say who needs it, but I decided to mention that too. In any case, the company that once produced this energy drink is most likely no longer on the market, and the trend for screamers has also long passed, so nothing threatens you anymore.
Mr. Yuk is me. Mr. Yuk is green.
Home is full of lots of things that children shouldn't touch. Home is full of bad things that can hurt you very much. Now there's a man whose face is green that you ought to get to know. He'll warn you when danger's coming fast or slow.
This round green face expressing extreme disgust was created by the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital in 1971 to deter children from various health-threatening substances that they could accidentally eat or drink, mistaking them for something else. The idea belongs to pediatrician Richard Moriarty, who taught at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine and later founded the National Poison Center Network in the United States. He believed that the more traditional skull and bones no longer scare children, but instead attract them, evoking associations with pirates and rum rather than danger. The design of Mr. Yuk quickly became popular and went beyond Pittsburgh, first in the form of ordinary stickers for dangerous items and later as a TV commercial. And it really scared a lot of people back then, which is not surprising at all, since the reason for this was exactly the same as with the PSA with Smokey the Bear. Children associated this green face with danger much better if it had ever scared them before. Some people might find this idea strange, but it was very effective and helped save many lives across the country. This was the last commercial, and that's all I have for today. If it wasn't enough, you can always watch my other videos with various strange and creepy commercials. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you later!